Welcome to Pour the Juice, and I'm Jim. And in this video, I just want to talk a little bit about myself and about this channel, why I started it, just in case anybody's interested. I know I've gotten a few subscribers over the last couple weeks. I had a video that recently did pretty well, um, and I know that's something that I'm always interested in when I start watching a channel is who am I actually watching? Um, so I want to start with kind of going over my bourbon journey, since you already have my name. I fell in love with bourbon and whiskey in general um, as a young drinker. I don't want to give a age out there for anybody else out there who wants to get into whiskey, but I started out fairly young, and I started out drinking with friends and drinking Jack Daniels. I've mentioned that a few times in a few other videos, but that was my drink of choice. I was a Jack Daniels, Jack on the Rocks guy. If we were going out, that's what I would go with, or I'd go with beer. If we were hanging at somebody's house, it was Jack on the Rocks or Jack and Coke, whatever it may be. And that was for a few years until I started getting a little bored with it, and I wanted to know what else was out there. And then I started trying some other bourbons like Maker's Mark and um, Jim Beam. And these, I was drinking kind of the bottom shelf stuff. I didn't have the money to really explore better whiskey at that point in time. Um, but I always wanted to be the guy who was at the party with a rocks glass, drinking whiskey neat. That was my goal for adulthood, was to be that guy at the party. And eventually, you know, once I did get some money, I got more into Scotch than I did bourbon. I have Scottish blood in me. I come from Scottish descent. My grandfather was born in Scotland. And it was another thing growing up I was always interested in. Was always interested in single malt Scotch. That was almost like a legend to me, single malt Scotch. So once I did get some money, I decided that I, wanted to venture into Scottish whiskey, and that started with Highland Scotches, the regular Glenlivets, Glenfiddich, Glenmorangie, and then eventually into Islay Scotches, which I fell in love with. Um, I love a Ardbeg Ugadale, Lagavulin. It's great. I kind of love all whiskey. Funny enough, the one profile I don't love as much in bourbon is a high malt bourbon. But yeah, I would guess that my least favorite whiskey types would be either Canadian or Irish. And I've gotten to enjoy Irish a little bit more recently. Um, Today, though, I talked about Jack Daniels being my favorite in the past, some Scotches being my favorite in the past. Today, as far as some of my favorites, and I do want to do a video on this at some point, but I still love Jack Daniels. The barrel proof single barrels, both the rye and the bourbon, or the Tennessee whiskey and the rye, are some of my favorite whiskeys on the planet. I love high proof stuff. So as far as Buffalo Trace goes, Stag is one of my favorites. If I'm ever lucky enough to own a George T. Stag, that'll be my favorite bottle that I own most likely. Um, but yeah, higher proof stuff. I like trying different things. I love finished whiskeys, as you can probably guess from a lot of my videos. Um, yeah, and then I did want to talk about a little bit what the name of my channel infers. I was trying to think of a good name to have for a whiskey channel, and I had an idea of my belief system with whiskey, and that was I believe if if you love whiskey, if you get into whiskey, you should also love drinking whiskey. You should also love sharing whiskey, sharing experiences around whiskey. So pour the juice is kind of just a tagline, not to save it, not to store it in bunker to crack your bottles, the good ones, the bad ones, whatever it is. Open them up and share them with people. Some of my favorite memories around whiskey are always the ones where, get a new bottle and I'm sharing it with my father or with a friend, or, I recently been sharing a lot of whiskey with my brother-in-law, who seems to be getting more and more into it, which is awesome. I love it. And that's like some of the best part about whiskey or any hobby. It's sharing that with other people. So yeah, pour the juice. Don't store it. Don't buy it to sell it at a higher price. That's my motto, at least. I've never sold a bottle of whiskey in my life, and I never plan to. And now I just want to talk about why I created this channel. And there's a few reasons for that. I feel like there's a few channels that I absolutely love on YouTube. And I'll eventually make a video on that topic as well. But off the top of my head, my favorite channel is SLB. I love what they produce. And what I really enjoy about them the most is they try to be as authentic as they can with their audience on the topics of whiskey, on price points, on what they enjoy. And they tend to not get influenced by brands with big names. And the channels that do get influenced by that and don't want to lose out on sponsorships, or don't want to not get the free samples, tend to be the channels that I'm less interested in watching. I can always tell if I'm watching a video and somebody's giving the same review over and over and over again. It's always a positive review. No matter what the whiskey is, it's always a positive review. I tend to gravitate away from that. And there's only a few channels who will be authentic. And that's what I want to be. I want to fit into that niche if I can. I don't want it to be me just schlepping for some big bourbon companies to get some free samples. If you're going to watch my videos, I want you to get something real out of it. And I want the realness to come from my opinion as much as it can. It's not going to be your opinion, it's going to be my opinion. But maybe that'll mean something to you if you watch enough of my videos and you trust my palate. So I'm looking for that in other videos, in other whiskey tubers. I'm looking for transparency, and I'm going to try to bring that to my videos as much as I can. And then that's another reason why I started this, is because I didn't see all that many channels doing it. I feel like there's a niche. And the last reason would be, I do feel like I have some knowledge on whiskey. I've been enjoying whiskey for almost 20 years now, and that does come with some knowledge. And I feel like if I want more and more people to get into this hobby and to be able to experience the great parts about it, to be able to share whiskey with more people, then I should probably share all the knowledge that I have on whiskey, and bring more people into it if I can. So that's another reason why I'm doing this. But yeah, those are the biggest things I wanted to cover today. This is getting to be a little bit longer of a video, and I didn't mean it to. I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself, my journey, my whiskey journey at least, and what I hope to bring to YouTube as a whiskey tuber. If you gotten this far, I'd appreciate if you liked the video. If you subscribed, please subscribe. And if you have any questions about me, or what videos you think I should make, or if there's any bottles out there you want to see reviews of, please let me know. I keep saying a lot. Yeah. Usually this is where I cheers the camera, but I don't have a drink in front of me right now. So thank you. Thanks for watching.